The atmosphere of the concert that night was, in truth, already perfect. Stage lights shimmering brilliantly, the music echoing throughout the stadium, and thousands of fans immersed in the emotions created by the main artist. Yet no one expected that a simple moment in the crowd would become the most unforgettable highlight for those in attendance. Not because of stage effects, nor due to any planned surprise. It all began with the calm steps of a man who walked in without drawing much attention, until suddenly, the entire area around him changed simply because of his presence. That man was Taehyung. His presence at Park Hyoshin's concert that night was not as the main star, nor as a special guest announced on stage, but as a friend who came sincerely to show support. However, as often happens, Taehyung could never truly be just another audience member. Fans seated near him shared that at first, no one noticed him. He walked casually, dressed simply, without any striking escort. His steps were light, his expression calm, as if he genuinely wanted to enjoy the night like anyone else. But the moment shifted in seconds. One person turned, then another, and in an instant, a wave of reactions spread like ripples across water. Heads turned almost simultaneously, creating a scene that many fans later described as unreal. There were no screams.
No excessive emotion.
Only a quiet filled with astonishment. Some people instinctively covered their mouths, trying to contain their reactions. Others quickly reached for their phones, as if afraid the moment would disappear if not captured immediately. A few even subtly leaned their bodies aside, giving those behind them a chance to see. A small gesture reflecting both respect and a sense of shared understanding among fans. Amid all this, Taehyung simply sat. He didn't look awkward. He didn't try to hide. He wasn't seeking attention. He was simply there, with a relaxed posture and his gaze fixed on the stage. He truly looked like someone who had come to enjoy the music of an artist he deeply respected. And that was precisely where the magic lay. As time passed, more and more people realized he was there. Each time the stage lights swept across the audience, more faces turned in his direction. Yet instead of causing chaos, the atmosphere felt warm and careful. The fans seemed to share an unspoken secret. They exchanged subtle signals, quietly confirming to one another what they were seeing. Some only glanced briefly, afraid of disturbing him. Others carefully adjusted their seating positions so they could still see without drawing too much attention. There was an unspoken agreement among them. This was a moment to be protected. Meanwhile, Taehyung remained immersed in the performance. His expression was soft, his eyes focused on the stage. He seemed to genuinely savor every note sung by Park Hyoshin. There was a warmth in the way he listened, a sincerity that couldn't be fabricated. For many fans, this was what made the moment so special. He didn't come as a global idol seeking to be seen. He came as a friend who wanted to support. And that presence, so genuine and unpretentious, created a far greater impact than any spectacular performance could. Footage from other angles later reinforced the story. From the front, it was clear how people in nearby rows reacted almost simultaneously upon realizing who was seated behind them. One man was even seen immediately covering his mouth, unable to believe what he was seeing. Within seconds, several phones were raised at once, trying to capture the rare moment. And yet, there was still no chaos. What existed instead was restrained excitement, admiration expressed in the gentlest way. Fans seemed to choose protecting Taehyung's comfort over openly expressing their enthusiasm. And perhaps that was the highest form of respect, because they knew that night wasn't about him. That night belonged to Park Hyoshin. As one of South Korea's most respected vocalists, Park Hyoshin is known to have close relationships with many artists, including Taehyung. His presence at the concert was not just a casual visit, but a sincere gesture of support for a senior he admired. And the way he showed that support was simple, yet deeply meaningful. He came without announcement. He sat among the audience. He listened attentively. And when the time came, he left just as quietly. As the concert neared its end, the atmosphere softened. Pink and purple stage lights created a warm, almost dreamlike mood. Fans gently waved their light sticks, following the soothing flow of the music. In that moment, Taehyung stood up. No spotlight followed him. No announcement was made. He simply walked slowly toward the aisle, leaving his seat with calm, steady steps. Some who noticed paused briefly. Some smiled. Some whispered softly. Others discreetly recorded his silhouette as he walked away. The moment felt different. If earlier it was filled with surprise, now it transformed into something warmer, more personal. His departure felt like the perfect closing to a meaningful night. He arrived quietly. He enjoyed sincerely. And he left with the same humility. For ARMY and the fans present, this moment wasn't just about seeing their idol up close. It was an experience that revealed who Taehyung truly is, beyond the stage, beyond the spotlight, beyond the glamour of the entertainment world. He is someone who appreciates music, someone who respects his seniors, someone who carries warmth wherever he goes, even without trying. And perhaps that is why the audience's reaction felt so powerful. Not just because he is famous, not just because he is known worldwide, but because there is something about him that makes people feel connected, even in the simplest of moments. That night didn't need grand words.
There was no speech.
No direct interaction. No dramatic moment designed to go viral. And yet, in that very simplicity, a story was created. One that will be remembered. A story about how a great star can appear in such a deeply human way. About how a presence can transform an atmosphere without doing anything at all. And about how sincerity, in its purest form, always finds a way to shine. And for many who witnessed it, one thing became clear. Taehyung never truly needs a stage to be the center of attention. Because even among thousands of people, as he simply sat there as an audience member, the world still turned to look at him. In the end, that simple moment left a far deeper impression than what appeared on the surface. Kim Taehyung's presence at Park Hyoshin's concert was not merely about an idol attending a show, but about how sincerity, respect, and warmth can feel so real without needing many words. Amid the glittering entertainment world that is often filled with spotlights, Taehyung instead showed his simplest side, coming as a friend, enjoying the music wholeheartedly, and leaving without causing any commotion. Yet it was precisely in that simplicity that he left such a lasting impression on the hearts of those who witnessed it. That night may be remembered for the extraordinary performance on stage. But for many, the story that continues to live on comes from the audience seats, from a man who chose to be present quietly, yet unknowingly transformed the entire atmosphere. And perhaps that is where Taehyung's true charm lies, not only as a global star, but as someone whose presence always feels warm, sincere, and deeply meaningful, even when he is just a small part of the crowd.